Home Again is about a woman who's moved back to her family home in Los Angeles, and through a circumstance, she meets three young filmmakers, and they end up living in her house, and she ends up having an affair with one of them, and it really leads her to sort of contemplate what she wants the next steps in her life to be.
It's kind of a new family between Reese and her two daughters and these three young guys that move in, and then her soon-to-be ex-husband, because they're only separated, asks her if she's Airbnb-ing the house when he hears that three guys are living there, and he flies in from New York, and he's now staying at the house. So it's they're full up at that house. Every bedroom has somebody in it, and he wants her back. And one of the boys likes her, and one of the boys has a crush on her, and her kids love the boys, and so it's a movie. Really, I mean, if you want to talk about a theme, the theme of the movie is really about, I think it's somewhat of a coming of age story for a 40-year-old woman.
I suppose it's about following your instincts and being kind of true to yourself. This all sounds very cliched, but I suppose, Alice's journey is that she's, this is an adult story. It's not about first young love or anything. It's about, people at a certain age who've already gone through a lot of stuff and are coming out the other side of it maybe, and have had their hearts broken and have kind of experience on their side. Experience tells you one thing, and then your kind of heart and the naive part, the innocent part of yourself tells you something else, and the clash of those things. And that's part of why I loved about this story, was that it's a story in some ways for people, or certainly the way I related it to it, it's a story for people who've already been around the block a few times. And what happens when you start wandering around a new block.
The biggest challenge of making a movie as a first-time director is how much you have to go with your instinct and not your experience. You just have to really trust yourself and what you think is right and just go with that, and that's pretty much all you have. But as the writer of the movie, I really do think I understood, why certain characters are doing what they're doing or saying what they're doing. So that was really like how I found my way into directing, was just through writing.
Working with Hallie is amazing. She's a first-time director, and she just wrote an amazing script that attracted all this incredible talent, and it's been really fun to see her and Nancy's dynamic together and how they work so closely and speak the same language and think the same thing about comedy and character. And it's nice for me to be around so many female filmmakers. It's important that we have female voices in film, and I think Hallie's is going to be a great new voice.
That has been really wonderful working with my mom. She's the perfect person to be involved in this movie. She has an amazing body of work, and I mean, any director will tell you that being able to turn to your right and ask somebody, what do you think, or what should I do here, and have that person be somebody that you respect and admire and trust has been just enormously helpful and wonderful. And it's been interesting to see a different side of her. I always knew her as a filmmaker, but to be able to work together and find out about each other in that new way has been really, really interesting and fun.
I think audiences will love this movie because it's such a movie that just gives you reassurance. It's about love and family and friendship and how all of those things can take so many different forms, and that certain friendships can be really healing for you during difficult times. And this movie just kind of reminds you of that.